So before we begin to use this protractor to measure these angles, there are a couple of things that I want you to notice. First of all, I have two sets of numbers on my protractor. On this side, where my cursor is, the numbers go from 0 to 180. On this side, the numbers go from 0 to 180, which can be quite confusing. So we have to make sure that we know whether the angles are right, obtuse, or acute before we start to measure it. That is the first question we should always ask ourselves when measuring angles. Something else that I want you to notice about my protractor is this little line right here, this one where my pencil is. I was trying to draw over that for you, but it won't let me. So this line where my pencil is, this is where you will place the vertex of every angle that you're measuring. And the vertex is where the angles meet in the center. That will go on this line. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Another very important part of the protractor is this very bottom line that goes to 0. When we are measuring our angles, we're going to want our bottom line of the angle to be right on the 0. Otherwise, our measurements are going to be incorrect. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take my protractor, and as you can see, I can move it around when I want to. I'm going to make sure that this is 0. When you are using a handheld protractor, you do not have that ability. But I'm going to take my protractor and I'm going to move it. Now, I'm going to make sure that that line I showed you earlier is on the vertex of my angle. And I'm going to make sure that the bottom line of my angle is right on that 0 line. You can see that right there where I'm tracing it. Now, the top line is the line that I want to follow to my numbers. And as you can see, this top line goes to both 90 degrees. So there's no question that this angle is a 90-degree angle. As you also may know, it is a right angle because it measures 90 degrees. It forms an L. So let's also go ahead and take a look at this angle. I'm going to, again, take that line. I'm going to put it on the vertex of my angle. I'm going to make sure that the bottom line of my angle, let me show it to you. There it is right on my 0. And then I'm going to follow this line. This is the top line of my angle. Now, you can see here that I have two choices. I could tell someone that this angle is a 41-degree angle, or I might say that it's a 139-degree angle. So this is where it is very important to know the difference between an acute and an obtuse angle. I know that acute angles measure less than 90 degrees and are drawn less than 90 degrees. Over here is my 90-degree angle. I know that an obtuse angle is more than 90 degrees, and that line, this line here, would be angled more this way. So if I'm using my protractor correctly, I can tell that this is a 40, I would say a 41-degree angle. 41 degrees. Sometimes our line gets a little off. It's not that important if it's that close. So let's go ahead and measure this last angle. Again, I'm going to take my protractor. I'm going to put that line in the vertex. And you can tell that I'm a little off, so I'm going to move this so that the bottom line of my angle is on the 0. And when I go to measure it, I'm going to follow this line. And look at there. I can tell that this angle is either about a 58-degree angle or about a 122-degree angle. And again, it's where this, knowing the difference between a right, obtuse, and acute angle comes in handy. I know that obtuse angles are more than 90 degrees and that the line is drawn so that it is bigger than 90 degrees. So I'm going to say that this angle is about 122 degrees, which makes it an obtuse angle. It's very important that you know how to use a protractor when measuring angles.